Wow, the food here is a lot better than I expected.
Exactly, right? It's so much better compared to that ramen restaurant Atsuko had us eat at one time. Don't get me wrong, the food was actually pretty decent. But the options for vegans and vegetarians are limited.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean, Ignacio. Atsuko really loves ramen.
Hold on. Now that I think about it, is naturally made ramen even healthy? I see a lot of people in anime have food contests with it, like how people here eat hot dogs, which is a lot worse. Especially if you know how they're really made.
Let me see what they making right here. Oh, that's cereal. That's cream of wheat. Wait a minute, maybe sheep hair. Ugh, what is that, boo-boo? Flour, cookie dough, manure, chocolate. That look like a malt, chocolate malt. Damn, what is it? Oh, beef jerky. Oh, hot dogs. This is a hot dog? Oh, cuz I ain't never eaten a hot dog, cuz.
Well, compared to the cup and wrapper noodles, which are both well known as struggle foods in the hood but are actually really harmful towards your stomach, it's possible if you get the right organic noodles from an Asian store and mix it with a good balance of protein such as meat or even tofu and vegetables. And also about ramen eating contests. Heh, this may come as a shock to you, but surprisingly, it's an actual thing in Japan.
To answer your question, Hikari, I can't say I'm that surprised. Another thing I noticed is that anime makes them seem more serious than they probably are in reality. If I ever get the chance to visit Japan one day, I would love to see how that would go in person.
Yo, now that I think about it, a trip with the three of us plus Atsuko, Hermias, Yansa, and Adam would be lit.
That's actually an amazing idea, Ignacio. We could also invite Rosella to join us from China.
Now that you mention it, Hikari, it's been a hot minute since I last spoke with her on a Discord call. I got a text from Yansa that she's currently in her Discord server with two other good friends of hers. It's a shame that we're not going to be able to make it today.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Atsuko to take over for me today.
My homeboy Hermias is probably going to join with Adam anyways, but I'll tell him to let them know that I won't be able to make it.
I already let Yansa know that we won't be able to join since we're about to watch the Minecraft movie to see what the hype is about. But I promised her that next time we'll all be able to join her. Anyways, the food here is amazing despite the hot pot at every table being unusual for a lot of us. Thanks for recommending this spot, Hikari.
You're welcome, Lavina-sensei. Atsuko and her dad came across this place when my dad and I had dinner with them around the time it first opened a year ago. Both of our dads are childhood best friends, which is the way Atsuko and I met, and also co-workers.
If I may ask, what does your dad do for a living?
My dad shares a business as an assistant karate teacher to Atsuko's dad, similar to Yansa and her older cousin Amari's family martial arts business. One thing that sets them apart is that my dad is more specialized with a lot of different weapons. So he has a weapons training course for advanced students.
That also happens to be how I met both her and Atsuko. I also met Rosella, who joined a couple years later taking the gym by a Rose Flame Storm. As you already know by now, Hikari and I have a better specialty with swords, while Rosella and Atsuko are both more skilled when it comes to spears.
Yansa and Amari are also the same way since they both use spears. Although I personally prefer to focus more on my elemental powers and hand-to-hand combat skills since it feels more reliable for me. Plus, it's also a good workout in a way.
Yeah, Hermias and Adam are also the same way as you, Lavina. Also, there's a saying that goes that your mind is your best weapon. And there's also another thing. I remember Hermias showing me a video by Von 2 Cut years ago explaining that you need to learn how to physically fight. Cause one thing he pointed out is that a lot of people without their gun, or it could be some other type of weapon in general, become useless.
For some reason, it reminds me of how the YNs Yansa and I came across 2.5 weeks ago were, since they started getting scared after Hermias showed up.
Well, that's Hermias for you. He's really skilled at being a peacemaker and using his intimidation tactics to his advantage.
Hey guys, have the three of you come to watch the Minecraft movie as well?
Oh, well, if it isn't Kalia and Yuhan, I wasn't expecting to see the two of you here. By the way, Yuhan is my cousin from my dad's side who was raised by her Mexican dad and Chinese mom. Also, she lets me stay at her place from time to time since she feels really bad about the situation that's been going on between me and my brother, as you all know by now.
Yeah, no sibling should have to endure what him and his family have been going through ever since their mom died 5 years ago.
I can tell life has been really stressful on their dad ever since.
Yeah, it's been really difficult working in the fields all the way to Marin County at his age, Kalia.
By the way, you must be Lavina. Ignacio and Hikari have told me a lot about how awesome of a trainer you are. I'm also a trainer myself, as well as a Twitch streamer.
First off, I never knew Ignacio's situation was this deep. Also, it's nice to meet you, Kalia. You should come work at our gym as a way for us to collaborate and get to know each other a lot better.
You know, I've actually been considering that since I've also heard how well they pay you guys there. Plus, I also wanted to point out that this would be a perfect opportunity for us to provide our content a lot better.
Oh, for sure. My friend Yansa and I would really love to have you there.
You should come train with us sometime, Yuhan. I can guarantee that those two are the best trainers that I know so far.
Since Kalia is usually the one that trains me, I guess I have no choice but to join alongside her. One thing I know for a fact is that the environment will be a lot better compared to 24-hour fitness.
Yay! So it looks like everything's settled then. I'll put in a good word for you to our boss so we can set up an interview.
I've been thinking that Atsuko should also join us since she's been really interested after hearing about the process Ignacio and I have made. Her and Ermias usually work out together at 24-hour fitness 3 times a week.
Yeah, and they also like walking around Lake Merritt at least once a week. They also walk around Piedmont Park, which has a wonderful nature spot from time to time. Ermias and his older sister are both really knowledgeable about nutrition, so he can also bring a lot to the table based on how much he's been helping Atsuko.
Oh, you're right. Also, Lavina has been training Delina personally after us, and she even provides good advice for her in return.
Wow, that sounds like a really good nutritionist to have. I see Ermias with Atsuko around a lot in 24-hour fitness. I can tell that he can also do really well as a trainer based off of the way he trains with her.
These are the type of real friends that you should always cherish for the rest of your life, unlike a certain someone whose name should not be mentioned. But enough about Ignacio's brother for now. I wouldn't want us to bring back any more bad memories.
To change the topic, these hot pot stoves at every table are really interesting. Is this an actual thing in Japan?
Yep. Also, other Asian countries such as China, for example, from what I know, have something similar.
You know, this reminds me of something. Does anyone remember when the Traveler did a hot pot game with Ayaka and Toma, where everyone put random food onto the pot?
Yeah. Ermias and I thought that shit was diabolical when we first saw it. Even though Toma is used to it by now, I still feel bad for what Ayato does to him.
Yeah, I don't recommend actually attempting it, especially for those that like to do food challenges.
Other than it not tasting good, I can imagine it doing so much harm to your health.
Another thing I remember that made the least sense is how the Traveler was able to make pizza through a pot in Ayaka's story quest.
Oh yeah, Kalia. That still has me confused to this day. I hope when the anime finally drops, whenever that will be, we can get a better explanation for it.
But until then, it shall remain as one of Tevat's biggest mysteries.
Haha, you really love to talk a lot, don't you, Hikari? But then again, it must come as one of the perks of being Atsuko's longtime friends.
Well, you know how the saying goes, you are who you hang with.
Yeah, we're both fortunate to have an awesome friend like Atsuko throughout our childhood.
1 hour later.
Man, the food was amazing. Plus, we also ran into a couple friends. Thanks again for recommending us to try Mumu Hot Pot Hikari.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it despite when it started burning our mouths around the end. Us Mexicans are typically used to eating spicy food, but this threw the both of us off.
Well, I'm glad the two of you enjoyed it in the end. We should invite Atsuko and Ermias to join us next time. Speaking of which, I can't wait to see Ermias' reaction since his culture really loves spicy food.
Yeah, they're known for using a spice called berbere. Atsuko really loves eating spicy food, and from what Ermias told me when they had Eritrean food at his place, even she wasn't able to handle it when she tried it for the first time.
The same exact thing happened with me and Amari's girlfriend Olivia when they invited me and Yansa to eat at this Ethiopian restaurant close to City Fitness called Cafe Colucci 2 years ago, around the time they first started dating. I know the two of you have been wondering about this for a while now, but Olivia played a role in convincing Yansa and I to become vegan through her 7-day challenge. And believe it or not, Olivia has never consumed anything that has to do with meat or dairy due to her family's unique tradition.
Wait, really? Even though Ermias tried recommending me and Hikari to go vegan a few times, you ended up being the one to challenge us to try it out for 7 days.
Yeah, it made a bigger difference with our performance. I don't know about your girlfriend Rosella recently, since Lavina tells me that she was one of Olivia's online therapy clients when she was going through her depression. But Atsuko, on the other hand, was a lot easier to convince since Ermias usually helps her out with improving her health.
Yeah, I'm glad that he has someone other than me to naturally keep him in good spirits. I'm also glad to hear that Rosella is doing well again after 2 years.
Well, if it isn't Ignacio, I wasn't expecting to run into you here. And I see you brought one of your weird and annoying friends who never stop talking. Let me guess, y'all are about to watch the new Minecraft movie.
What the hell do you want this time, Carino? By the way, Lavina, this is unfortunately my brother that you've been hearing about a lot recently.
I see. Quirino, wasn't it? Ignacio and Hikari have been telling me about how you've been treating him and your dad lately.
So you must be his trainer that I've been seeing around on TikTok. I also recall him and our dad mentioning you a few times. I've also heard that you're apparently Chalk's avatar. Speaking of which, did you know that this simp, who I'm ashamed to call my brother, was originally supposed to be Lord Cibalanque's avatar? But instead he decided to choose the most harmless-looking person that Ignacio won't stop talking about.
So you came to diss Rosella in front of him after all. How original. Also, I'm ready to show you what weird and annoying really is if you're gonna keep offending us.
Heh. You know, come to think of it, you and Hikari would have made a better couple compared to Rosella, who is probably having the time of her life with a bunch of Chinese dudes. Also, this must have been the sign for you to wake up and stop being a cuck like Adam22, since this long-distance relationship bullshit ain't cutting it.
Don't you dare disrespect Rosella like that. Also, Hikari is just a childhood friend that I've known since elementary school.
So it seems like I finally struck a nerve, haven't I?
Look, I don't know if you forgot, but Rosella was actually going through a tough depression after she lost her family in a disaster that happened 3 years ago. Thankfully, she's been doing a lot better these days from what Lavina tells me after she met an online therapist and her boyfriend. I know Rosella well enough that she would never do something like that behind my back.
And how exactly do you know that? I've been around a lot of people who seem really nice on the inside, but ain't actually who you thought they were once you finally get to see their true colors.
You're still mad that Rosella beat you in a fight once when she defended me when you attacked me back in El Condor 4 years ago. Aren't you, Reno?
Would you shut the fuck up and forget about your bitch-ass girlfriend? She's been gone for so long that she most likely lost interest in you and started fucking with other guys. You of all people should have known from the start that this was gonna fail, knowing how these hoes are in this generation.
You shouldn't be talking either, since all of your past relationships always end up going to shit. Like, let's be honest here. Would anyone really want to be with a thug who sells drugs on the street like you? What me and Rosella have with each other is actually real. Also, I've had enough of you disrespecting us. Just so you know, Dad has been planning on kicking you out for the longest.
Damn. I remember Ermias telling us one day that Ignacio's insecurities about his relationship mainly come from you, Reno. I'm sure Cibalanque had his reasons on why he decided to choose Rosella over your brother to be his avatar. Look, you need to end this resentment that you have towards him since it's starting to spiral even more out of control. We ran into your cousin Yuhan at this Japanese restaurant all the way on the front left side, and she told us that your beef has gotten so bad to the point where she offers Ignacio to sleep over at her place from time to time. I know what it's like since I know someone from my family who had a sibling that she used to argue with all the time after an incident between them happened. Her sister recently passed away without them ever getting a chance to apologize and squash everything. I can tell deep down that this isn't actually how you feel about your brother. Even if Ignacio didn't get chosen to be Cibalanque's avatar, there's still a chance that another god from our culture will recognize him. So for your family's sake, I highly recommend that the two of you should make up before it eventually gets too late.
Just so you know, Lavina, I have no plans on apologizing to my pathetic brother. Also, you can tell Dad that I have no need to stay at that place anymore. But to send a message, I think I'll start by killing you three. Allow me to officially reintroduce myself. I am Quirino, the avatar chosen by Apuch, the Mayan god of death. Unlike your sorry bitch ass, I actually ended up being recognized by a god.
That's it. You have officially crossed the line this time.
Apuch, the god of death?
Oh no, this is bad! I remember playing against him when I played Susano mid lane in Smite once when Kalia invited us to her stream. Maria and I looked into a bit of his lore, and apparently he's the mightiest lord of the Ninth Hell. I didn't even know there were 9 of them.
Also, legend says that if Apuach finds a human in the night, he kills and drags the unfortunate into endless oblivion. Only those already racked by his servants, those caught in gut-wrenching wailing, moans of agony, and fits of mania are safe from his touch.
We should call for backup so we can also protect the other citizens.
You're right. I'll text Kalia and Yuhan to be on the lookout for any undead around their area.
It seems like you've gotten better since the last time we fought. For the first time in a really long time, I can say that I'm actually impressed. However, that still ain't enough if you ever hope to defeat me. Did you really think that bullshit was strong enough to save you against me? Now do me a favor and get ready to die so I don't have to see someone as pathetic as you ever again.
I won't allow you to harm him. You may not notice his value, but he's been an amazing client and, most importantly, a good friend to all of us.
Can you stop interfering? I already told you that I'm not interested in making amends with him. This battle is between me and him, so stay the fuck out of my way.
That's where you're wrong. If you want to get to him, you're gonna have to go through me as well.
You're really starting to annoy me. You know that, Lavina? Well, have it your way then. Minions, servants, soldiers of the underworld, rise and obey the call of Apuach's avatar.
We have answered your call, Lord Furino.
I'd say we're evenly matched now, are we not?
Uh-oh, this has gotten a lot tougher. I hope Ermias and the others can get here in time.
Yeah, we're really gonna need their help more than ever.
Also, I'm gonna need the rest of you to eliminate the nearby citizens for a certain sacrificial project that I'm planning.
Understood, Lord Furino. We will not let you down.
Just hold on for 1 fucking second. A sacrificial project? Just what the hell do you plan on doing?
And why does it require so many innocent people to lose their life?
You will all find out when that day comes.
You know, you and Calvin would be perfect as friends since you both share the same type of wickedness. I'll now be stepping in this time. As Susano's avatar, I'll defeat you for sure.
Everyone back me up. I'm ready to continue teaching this bastard a lesson. You have officially lost your way this time, Reno. I may not be an avatar at the moment, but that doesn't mean I'm scared to stand up against you.